Good evening, this is Becky, and come on in. 2 seconds and then I'll tell you what we're going to do today. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks since I did one of these, so I'm going to take it nice and easy today, and I'm going to do a project here from the Creative Watercolor book by Ana Victoria Calderon, and there is a link for this one down in the description of this video. I just quickly popped into the description and added that for you in case you wanted to see what that's all about. And essentially there's some really nice projects. It's a book I've had for a little while, and if you like brush lettering and things, there's a lot of projects in here, or a lot of pages at least, taken up with lettering. And so lettering's not really my thing, so that's the one thing that I probably won't be dipping into for this book. But there's a lot of pretty ideas and things to get you going with different techniques. And these basic ones at the beginning I've already worked through, so I'll show you those in my sketchbook. Today I want to do the leaf studies, and if we've got time, there was a little flower here to do as well, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do that next week, maybe I'll do that tonight. Let's see how we get on. So here's my little sketchbook. This came with the Paul Rubens, which one was it? I think this one came with when I bought their glitter palette or something. I can't remember, it's been a little while. So here's some of the projects from this book. So some fine line doodles, cutting in around some metallic glitter stars and sun, some splattering, transparency, you know, just kind of little nice simple basic things which you can then obviously use as an idea for a bigger project. So today let's take a look. I've already sketched in the little leaf shapes, and I'm going to be using paint-wise the Paul Rubens Artist Color. These were the tubes that I've panned out. And let's take a little look. So I've got a selection of smaller brushes for today, and I think I'm going to start off with a bit of a flat brush to do this leaf here with the jagged edges. And so I figured for jagged edges you can use the corner of the edge of the brush to kind of cut in there. Color wise, there's a lot of greens in this set of Paul Rubens Artist Watercolor, so I can mix my own or use what we've got there. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're all having a lovely start to your December. And I think for this first one we will go with the sap green. So let's just check the instructions though, because I'm obviously making some assumptions here on what we're doing. Okay, once you've chosen your leaf shapes, begin by drawing simple outlines. Check, keep your drawings as minimal and as clean as possible. When you paint over your drawing, you won't be able to erase the pencil markings that peek through the transparent layers. Yes, so do remember that. And that reminds me, I would like to just knock some of those eraser lines, those pencil lines back just a little bit. So we'll do that. And then step 2, paint your first watercolor layers. There are a couple of things to note here. Since we will be adding onto these initial layers, keep them pretty transparent. See how I begin to add outline details to the shape of the first leaf. Let me just check if my window is closed, because I hear my neighbour's dog is having a bit of a wild one again today. There we go. Let's see if that resolves the issue. Okay, so I'm just going to knock back a lot of the graphite and just use it as a guide. Alright, okay. So this is also going to be a nice test to see how this book is keeping up, because it's a couple of years old now, so I don't know how the paper's going to be, but we'll find out. Okay. Where do we get to? See how I began to add outline detail to the shape of the leaf first. This is important because sometimes the shape of your brush does the work, and you just need a simple drawing to begin with. Now I'm not sure how we can see that. See how I begin to add outline detail to the shape of the leaf first. Okay, well, I don't know if we're talking about, so this first one here where you have the jagged edges. I'm not sure if it's a reference to something like that, but let's just have a play. Let's stop fussing and just get on with it. Okay. Alright, so leaf number 1, I'm going to do my little zigzags. So I'm just zigzagging all the way up. And I'll see if I can do the same up here for you to show you what's going on here. So I'm ziggy-zagging to keep or to create that. And I think that's what we're talking about here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more color down to the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to do this more elongated one here. Color wise, I think I'm going to go with the May green. But I also don't think that I want to use this brush. I want to use a round brush for this one. So this one is an Artigria size 6. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use the brush. Okay, I need more. Gonna need more paint than that. Here we go. So pushing down and lifting back up. Okay, right, and I think, oh, one moment. Oh, good evening, Kuba Yavo. Yes, we're just having a bit of a dog barking competition here. I think someone might be outside, but oh. Okay, I think we're settled. Right. Okay. So I've got my May green here. We're making leaves, so I'm going to bring in just a little bit of lemon yellow into the mix and just add a bit of that to the leaf at the top. Okay. All right. I'm going to do this wibbly wobbly guy down here, and we're going to go for more of that lemon yellow, same brush, same kind of combo actually. Just make sure it's nice and fluid. Just colouring it in. And bringing in that May green. Okay, right. Let's do this guy here, and we're going to do him in the oriental green, so more of a blue green. But that is probably a bit too close to green for what I want. That's fine. So we'll mix our own. And actually I want to use, I'm going to go back with the flat brush for this one so that we can do our jagged lines. Ta-da! I'm a leaf expert now. There we go. Alright, so that's where we're at so far. And I just have this guy over here that's browning, and I think this is going to be a job for burnt sienna. So just tickle it in there. And let's see. So a bit more green at the top, a bit more burnt sienna at the bottom. Let's take it down here. I did such a good job erasing my lines on this one that I'm going to be improvising a little bit with my leaf. I can't believe it. Yes, indeed. I can't believe it's not summer anymore. And we're near the end of 2025. And I can't believe it's already the party season, because I'm pretty sure it feels like last year's party season was just the other day. Okay. Layer 1 is complete. I haven't drawn out this guy, but if you wanted to do more, you can, but here we go. Kuvo, it is freezing here in the morning. I don't know how to do the conversion to my home country's temperature ratings, but 40 something degrees in the morning is really cold and I don't like it. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cheat. We're gonna defy time. We're gonna use the heat tool. Alright, so I'm going to start to use some tiddly widdly tiny whiny brushes now, because we're going to add the details. And this one's one of my favourites, this filbert. It's a little one. It's a little number 2 filbert. That's what a filbert looks like. It's like flat but like round at the same time. So sharp like a dagger there. Squished out there. So we're doing round 2. Our second layers are what really begin to add depth. In some of the leaves I've painted the veins over the initial layer, and that's pretty much it, but you can also use negative space to get lighter tones to be our details. Okay, right, so that's like leaving some gaps, but I don't know, I think okay, we can, let's see, where should we start? So I think that one will just do the veins. So for that one I have a number 0 round brush, which is Warhammer level detail kind of brush. And we're going to make up a dark green, starting off with a bit of that sap green, and then we'll bring in some good old burnt sienna. Okay, and then that's going to give us too much brown. Okay. It's okay, we can fix that. More green. Less brown. Okay. Alright, let's give this one a go. All the way down. And now we're going to do my most finest, delicate, daintiest little brush lines. Which should be easy, being a dainty little person, and definitely not clumsy. Oh, look at that. Dainty little lines. Repeat, other side. Oh, there we go. Look at that for a leaf. Almost looks like one, doesn't it? Okay, great. Alright, I'm definitely going to add a second layer to this guy here because it's not it. No, we're not where we want to be with that one. So I'm going to darken up some of these areas. I want to bring in a bit more. What happened to my swatch here? I'm going to bring in a bit of Indian red because they do a really nice deep red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And then just with a damp brush, we'll just let that run into what we have already. If I hold it up this way, I'll let the pigment roll back down. Whilst I tidy up some of those edges. Okay. I'm going to let that set for a little bit before I flood it into the other parts of the leaves. But I am going to do some work on this guy here. I think we'll use this mess that I've made here, this nice green mud. And here's where we do the negative space. So what I'm doing is colouring in between where the veins will go. And that is what we mean by the negative spaces. We're painting or colouring the shapes in between. So now I just got to do this all the way up. And then on the flip-flop side, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to take my little brush and do the veins. Bring a bit more of a little something to the edge of that one though. And just soften that a little bit. There we go. Another leaf. Gorgeous, right? Okay, okay. We need a bit more depth to this one. So bring in the round. I'm just going to keep making different variations of green mud here and there. So different concentrations and ratios of mud-like colours. And if you get too much water, too much wetness, if you ever experience too much wetness, you just dry off your brush, and due to the powers of science, get it as dry as possible. And if the brush is drier than the paper, it will start to drink it back up. Because science. Right, we need a bit more of a green party going on here. A bit more green. And we're going to try and leave the stem out. So the stem is going to be the negative space. On this particular little fellow. Okay. I think I'm ready to bring some more excitement to this guy. And to this one. Which just leaves this little fellow here. So for this guy, just more green mud. But I think I want to use the oriental green. Well, I have got that olive green. I think we're going to have to do the olive green. Yeah, that's looking leafy. Let's just we go. Right, okay, I think I'm ready to give this a little bit of a dry. Right. Okay, so a bit more details now. Going back in with that teeny weeny one, we need to get some veins added. So let's start with this one. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, and we're gonna go. Okay, that's that one. And then this one needs to be green. This one's got all the crazy veins going on. Kind of like little lightning bolts. Okay. The next step is just again adding a bit more layers. I kind of ended up hybridizing those two steps together, but one thing I definitely want to do is try and neaten up down the inside of the vein here. And likewise on the other side. Now this one's looking a little empty, to be honest. I feel like it needs a bit more details, but one thing we can do is we can put in some little speckles. Like so. she's added a couple of little bonus leaves to that one. So let's do likewise, just the same we did. Yeah, little cute little ones. Okay, so that is some leaves done. Let's have a look at this flower, which shouldn't take too long. Okay, so we've got our simple daisy shape already drawn out. Start with a small circle in the middle and then draw your petals. Okay, begin painting in the petals. Start with darker values at the center and then gradually water it out. I'm going to do alternate daisies first. This is feeling like a quinacridone marron. What is it? Okay, so darker in the middle. And then let it flood out. Okay. Let's do another. In the middle. Push down. Let's take some water. Here we go. Another way, I want to try a different way of doing that. I want to try doing wet the area. So I'm going to paint this one with just water. And then drop my paint in. Can you see the difference on that one? Let's do another one like that. So water, and pigment in the middle. And your different pigments behave differently in terms of flowing. Okay. There's our alternate petals. And I'll give that a little dry so that we don't upset them on the next pass. All right, okay, so I'm going to do the ones in between now. And what I could do is just drop in like a tiny bit of something else. We could have the same color, but just a little bit of orange maybe. Just a little bit of the cad red. Okay, almost done. Okay, let's dry her up. I got a little bit of a overly excessive tide mark there, so I'm just going to see if I can buff it out a little bit. All right, now I didn't do a very good job at keeping the center circle in the middle. I've not quite gotten right up there, so let me just join some of these together. Okay, and now we're on to the fine details. So teeny weeny brush again, and we're just going to do some, looks like we're just doing some line work straight down. Just keeping with that same color. Whoosh, whoosh, that's what I'm doing. I'll see if I can get that nice and fine. Almost there. Okay, very cute. Now that's with all the little lines on it. I'm going to just slap a little bit of orange in the center for the middle bit, and go. It's a little bit dark actually. I'm going to lighten that with a little bit of yellow. Let's do Indian yellow. Something like that. And then just to finish it off, there's some examples here. So this is where you can have a play with the book. Is we've got some examples with some leaves. We just practice leaves, and then we also have different colors and petal ideas. I just want to do a couple of simple leaves just to finish it off a little bit. some little veins. Not that. Oops. All right, okay. I think that looks kind of cute. All right, well, so when that's dry, I will just go back through and get rid of any more outline with the pencil, but otherwise, well, that was a cute little warm-up to get me back on track and sort my life out. Let's have a little clean up on here before I go. And yep, I hope you all are having a lovely week, and let me know if you play along or if you like this stuff. And just to recap, here's the book that we were playing with today, Creative Watercolor. Find it on Amazon, link in the description down below. All sorts of cute little things. Here's the ones that I've done so far. So this one was really cool. I think I did these with the graphite colours from Derwent. Yeah, memories. Okay, all right, enjoy your week, get back to work, behave yourselves, and I'll see you again on, well, I guess I'll probably see you on Sunday for some colouring. And Kuva Yavo, you're very welcome. See you soon.